Thank you.
You love this audience.
This is amazing.
This crowd.
Hi, how are you?
Of unsuspecting New Yorkers.
Hi, how are you?
I'm sorry for everything that's about to happen.
What are you talking about?
I'm kidding. I'm totally kidding.
I'm over the moon here.
I'm
you got like
I know.
like a retrospective here.
Let's talk about
this is your
hair
life.
color.
Is that your O face? Can we talk about the fact that you are one of the few comedians that actually dresses up when you do
That's
stand
very
up?
true.
And
Yeah,
that is
funny
very
enough, I
commendable.
still have that leather jacket. It's like over 20 years old.
You gotta.
But, yeah, I mean, you know, as I got old, you know what? As my hair got grayer, I thought it's suit time.
You look good in this suit.
You
look
do.
great.
You look really good in
Yeah,
this suit.
and that's outside New York Comedy Club.
Right here?
This one, yeah, it was outside New York Comedy Club, just like a random night of trying out new material. But I had even dressed up. That guy's a great photographer
You look
from Ireland. The
fantastic.
guy that took that photo.
Oh, we're going to get into the Ireland of it
The
all.
best photographers are Irish. Always.
We teed up this question specifically for you. You don't regret having kids because you have none.
We don't have them yet, but we are trying, for the record. I've suddenly become, because this clip went super viral, I've suddenly become like the spokesperson for like, yeah, it's okay to not have kids.
Yeah.
But, you know, we are trying. I'm not anti-kids.
Mazel.
Okay.
Mazel.
Yeah,
Good
no
luck.
success yet, but it's always fun to try.
I was gonna say that's the best part of having kids is the trying part. That's the most recreational part. So give me like a little bit of history. So were you born in Queens or you're born in Queens?
My birth is too complicated, so we ignore that. Raised in Queens, baptized in St. Andrew's Church in Northern Boulevard. Raised in Auburndale, Queens. St. Kevin's was my school. Then I went to St. Francis Prep, which is a famous high school there.
Very
Freshman.
fancy.
And then I got kicked out of there.
For what? What'd you do?
Well, the joke I say in the show is I got kicked out for drinking too much. So my mother had this ingenious idea to send me to Ireland to go to boarding school.
Yeah.
Now that is partially true, but that's not really why I got kicked out. I flunked out of school, to be honest with you, which is a lot less dramatic. Anyway, I had a lot of cousins in Ireland, and this crazy idea came up, and I went to boarding school when I was 14 in Ireland. And it was like one of those like major life-changing experiences that you would have, because I never really left. I only came back to New York full-time when the pandemic hit. So most of
Great time to come back.
Yeah.
Yeah, I know. Well, it's a boring story how I ended up back. But anyway, the thing is that my comedy career has been like an Irish comedy career. I'm like an Irish comedian with a New York accent. And this part of my career now, the last sort of post-pandemic years, has been the first time where I've really been able to like indulge in my Queens identity, New York identity, and it's been great actually. Not that I denied it, but a lot of that stuff wouldn't have resonated with Irish people, so it's great to be able to indulge in it here.
And you went all the way in because it's called Bridge and Tunnel.
Yeah,
which if you know, you know.
Well, Bridge, yeah, so I was worried about calling it Bridge and Tunnel because I didn't want people to think that it was just a New York show. But there's a good section of it which is like very proud of my working class Queens upbringing, you know? And so I was watching the Billy Joel documentary, and Bruce Springsteen talked about how him and Billy Joel weren't the cool kids. We were Bridge and Tunnel because we were coming in from outside. And the fact that he was embracing it, I was like, you know what? I'm going to call it Bridge and Tunnel because I hate or hated when the cool kids in Manhattan, particularly the transplants, would come in and be like, oh, that place is Bridge and Tunnel. Like somehow that's
like they were born on Broadway or something.
Less than, right? So I was just like, I was just embracing it basically and being like, this is who we are and we should be proud of who we are. And anyway, Queens is having like a renaissance anyway.
Every borough is that. There's
like almost like my joke.
particular.
My joke about people reacting when I say I'm from Queens is almost becoming obsolete because now even Queens is like cool.
Yep.
And
it is.
Brooklyn's
Very cool.
like Brooklyn's like post cool.
Brooklyn's untouchable. Like you can't afford anything in Brooklyn anymore.
Yeah, Ridgewood, Queens is now the frontier of coolness.
all the things. Yeah.
Well, Douglaston's where you end up after you have the kids. Douglaston for us was like a dream. Like, whoa, they did well. They ended up in Douglaston.
Yeah.
This is Douglaston Manor. Come on.
It's the McEnroes. That's where the McEnroes.
I mean,
someone backstage is clapping.
Well, okay, so
clap.
can I really Queens out here? So you're from Queens, right?
Yeah.
The fancy people were from Jamaica Estates, Malba,
Forest Hills.
Forest Hills, and Douglaston Manor. And then if you were from Bayside, Bayside was semi-fancy, but if you were from the Gables in Bayside, then it was like, oh, they're from the Gables. You know? Auburndale, Queens, nice neighborhood, but middle of the road.
So you joke about city life, suburban life, and the different personalities that come from both. If you had to pick one, the suburban personality, the city personality.
I mean, I consider us semi-suburban. So I'm like an outer boroughs guy.
Yeah.
I'm going to pick the outer boroughs, but I'm also going to pick the 80s. I'm going to pick a time where, so we were one of those houses that are connected. So we had the communal driveways,
Yeah,
a
yeah.
very Queens phenomenon.
Yeah, the row house, yeah.
Yeah, so, but then we had all the communal driveways. So the alleyway, as we called it, became like our playground. And like, I wouldn't trade that for the world. I wouldn't trade
exact way.
the freedom that we had of playing wiffle ball with a tennis ball. And like, if it went into the trainer's garden, that was a home run.
Yeah.
Right, of course.
Mr. Trainer wasn't delighted that we were hopping his fence all
If
the
it
time.
hit the electric
Everybody
pole,
had a Mr.
that was
Trainer.
a triple. I grew up the same
all that
exact
stuff.
way.
So
Yeah.
I actually feel that, I mean, listen, people talk about this all the time, but I feel it's unfortunately a lost thing, that type of childhood. And I'm glad that I had it.
Yeah.
And you're also a bit of a chameleon because you wanted to perform in China, so you learned Mandarin, and now you're learning Spanish, right? So you're
Well, they're two very different things. The Mandarin thing was very much like making a TV show for Irish TV about learning Mandarin to do stand-up in Mandarin.
Right.
But it was a documentary series about China. It was 2013. The world was very interested in China. But I wanted to make a series about like the Chinese people. So like, it wasn't just that I wanted to learn Mandarin. I wanted to make a TV show.
right.
And a good one,
You're
right?
motivated.
And yeah, but I did totally immerse myself. I lived with a family. And growing up in Flushing was part of that. It's not the whole thing. People joke, like, of course you wanted to learn Mandarin, you're from Flushing. But like, it was part of it. Numerous aspects of my life where I was just like present around Mandarin and sort of like wanting to be able to communicate with like my parents'
Can
neighbors.
you still, did you become fluent?
我可以说中文，我还可以。
你好。
I still can because actually Mandarin's a very easy language to practice.
It doesn't
No.
seem that way at all.
No, to practice because it's easy to identify Chinese people, especially when you've lived there. It's very easy to go like, I'm given a good chance that person can speak Chinese, and then once you see them, you can practice, you know, and they're happy
And they're
to
like
practice.
looking at you saying, holy
and
smokes.
these days we live in the Lower East Side. I deliberately picked down where I am to be near Chinatown so I could continue to practice because I don't want to lose it. It's quite it's like dedicated in the end 2 years of my life. I want to make sure that I can keep it going.
Use it.
And you always find Chinese people in the crowd, and you can always have a bit of banter.
What about Spanish? Are you learning Spanish?
So that's because Hannah and I spent a bit of time in Miami this winter, and I was just like, you know what? Spanish was another one on my list, so I bit the bullet. But that's just for my own. That's like a personal hobby.
Yeah.
You can't
I haven't
even
been able to turn that into a show.
No.
I'll help you.
Oh yeah, but also honestly, I found I don't have the same immersion, and I find myself. I've been so confident with. When I learned Mandarin, I was confident just try.
Yeah.
I learned the Irish language, I was confident enough to try.
Right.
With Spanish, I'm so paranoid because so many people speak Spanish, and I really feel like my Spanish is bad.
Come to Washington Heights.
I was just going to say, go to Washington Heights.
Hang out for a day.
know.
You'll be
Go
fine.
down to Mayagüez, Puerto Rico.
Yeah, see.
Go pick
Are
up
you
real-
Puerto Rican?
I am.
So
Yeah,
much.
so the joke that I was saying in Miami is when I say Buenos Dias, nobody responds to me, so I've started mumbling it and I get a better
you
response.
go.
So I
You're
just
like-
go like, Buenos Dias. And then they're like, oh!
Des Bishop, thank you
Thank
so
you
much.
very much.
Thank you for having
So
me.
much
Thank
fun.
you.
The special Bridge and Tunnel streaming now on YouTube. His Gray Area tour is happening now with a show Monday in Long Beach, New York. And back in New York City this winter at the Town Hall. You're a busy man.
And speaking Spanish, apparently.